can start with the first question. How to bring SDGs to your classroom? And how to teach SDGs? What is the relation of teaching SDGs with your curriculum or with your program of education? I have some experience with teaching SDGs because I participated in International School Awards with the British Council. So we worked on global awareness and the global dimension. I discovered SDGs and I was very excited because with my school and my students, we are global citizens. We think globally and we act locally. In the first of the academic year or school year, we start by celebrating Peace Day, for example. In 21st December, every year, we celebrate Peace Day and we share our celebration and our activities with many schools around the world. And I am also a member in Itwinin community. It's a great community of schools and educators around Europe. And I can share and invite other teachers and other classrooms to participate with us in this global event. This is an example to start teaching SDGs and global awareness.
Yes.
Well,
can I speak, please?
Okay. That's interesting to hear from you, Monia. When you talked about e-training, it occurred to me that the world is really global. Early this year, we worked with Manuela Career. She drives a project on e-training called the Plastic Brigade, focusing on clean water and environment and talking about plastics. It's been interesting because for me, how have we been able to introduce SDGs in the classroom? It's been through collaboration. I find that most times when kids work alongside with their peers, they tend to understand the essence of what we're trying to draw into them, whether you're talking about gender equality, whether you're talking about climate action. So for us, it's always been collaborating with professionals, educators, and to make these learners realize that SDGs is not just in my country, it's about a global action. We were also privileged to have a youth work with us, not because of anything, but to make them realize it's not just for adults. So we've been able to integrate it into our schools by using collaborators on projects they've worked by themselves, helping us to also latch on that. And also locally here, we've also gone into partnerships with organizations as well to also help us see SDGs in action. Like I mentioned earlier, we also had some partnerships last year with Joyce Browning. So for us, it's helped us go very far in bringing SDGs into the schools, basically.
I agree with Monia. Can I speak, please?
Yes.
Yes, I agree with Monia. I have, I think, the same experience, okay? She's my close friend. She's far from me, okay? I'm the north-south of Tunisia, and she's, I think she's in Pioneer School, far from Jandouba, okay? I have, since 3 years, experience with International School World, okay? We met last year in the award. We link, our goal is to link SDGs in each activities. So in my experience with ISA, it's the integration of the curricula, the international learning in the curricula. So we made with some teachers some change in education in Tunisia. We link, for example, as activities that inspire students and motivate students, that we try to reduce inequality. It's for me and for my student, it was a priority. We bring special needs on my class, on our schools. Okay, we go in rural area to aware students about dropouts early from school. Okay, and we try to we try to also to find solution about the child labor, how to work. So I'm sorry for my accent. I use since 13-year-old French in teaching, so it's my first time to speak English. Okay, so the second experience, it was, I'm lucky to join the Itwini community, and we have a quality label in a project, in SDG project, about hand by hand to save our land. Okay, it's like it's really a good opportunity for our student to have a partner from Europe. Okay, to share many experience, to share passion, and to share the awareness and responsibility that we are responsible to save our planet. We are okay. So we have the same experience with Monia. Sorry for my accent, but SDGs, it's so important, and I advise any teacher in the world to integrate SDG in his curricula in his own effort. He's not able to find helps, but he should, okay, fighting or find the maximum find effort to integrate SDGs, because it's really important for students and motivate them so much, and there is so great impact on them core skills. We will turn in the fourth question. Thank you.
If I can just add to what Doha was saying, I think you're exactly right. We need to integrate it into our curriculum. The SDGs need to not be an add-on to what we're already teaching. And in my classroom, you will see my students working with the SDGs as part of writing lessons, when we're doing our inquiry learning or our problem-based learning. That's where we start seeing students working as inventors and innovators and campaigners. And I think that's what we need to put at the forefront, is the SDGs are about making change. And we want to give students a voice. And by giving students a voice, we can do that, whether that be through video footage and collaborating with classrooms around the world, whether that is in their writing and within their community. We need to give students opportunities to actually reflect. And I begin in my classroom with the very first question I ask my students is, what's happening in the world? What are the greatest problems that we are facing in the world today? And then what I then get them to do is take those problems and turn them into their own goals. So we have students setting their own global goals, and then we start adding them into the SDGs and using the SDG goals to interact with their students' own goals. And you know, when we start listening to students' voices, we start hearing children talking about wanting safe homes to live in. We start hearing children saying, we don't want to see family violence anymore. And so by giving students a voice and integrating that into our classrooms, we start seeing children take action. And I've seen children in my classroom, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, creating new pathways for refugees to have successful lives. I've seen them taking away detention centres and integrating new inventive ideas in our world that our governments should be listening to. I've had students lobbying our local governments here. Now, I teach kids that lives are very, very tough. And so when I say to you, any classroom in the world can be talking about the SDGs. There is no barriers, and it needs to be an opportunity. The students in my classroom talk about the SDGs every single day. There is not a day go by that we do not integrate it into the learning in our classroom. And I teach English, and I teach maths, and I teach reading, all the normal subjects that we would teach, but we integrate it and we flow it into what's actually happening. And then we look at resources like a Jewis's book. You know, that is one of the highlights in our classroom. The students are learning from other youth leaders in our world. So for me, Australia is seen as a very progressive country, but in fact, we have a lot of kids living really tough lives. And if we don't bring the world into our classrooms, these kids are never going to know that there's a world actually out there for them to live in.
Wow, that was great.
Okay, so for me, we must change the world. We must save the world with SDG. So we begin with students, because students of today are the employee of tomorrow. So we begin with us, with our students. We can integrate them in many projects. They will search for information over the world about the 17 topic or one topic of SDG. Then they will act. For example, they act in climate change. For example, they can change. For example, by adding trees in their school, or they can help each other. Okay, so by integrating them in many projects, they can save our planet and contribute to SDG.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Just like Brown Joyce ma'am said, like she's using my book and you all are using other platforms as a resource for teaching SDGs to the children.